Hi, welcome to today's webinar. We'll be looking at solicitor disclaimers, and today is a bite-sized guide. If you want to look at solicitor disclaimers in further detail, I also host a Learn Live seminar about this on MBL, so don't forget to check that out after you finish this webinar. So today what we're going to look at is why do you need a disclaimer? When do you need a disclaimer? And also, how should you prepare your disclaimer? So firstly, we need to think about why. So why do you need to even think about getting a disclaimer? Why is it even a problem that should be on your radar? So firstly, solicitors are held to a high level of standard of care. So what that means is that you have a responsibility to give advice to your client, and you have a responsibility to make sure that your client isn't doing anything that could negatively affect them, or at least tell them that what they're about to do is going to negatively affect them. So the standard is not subject to a sliding scale of whether you are a leading firm, and that was found in the Wright and Lewis Silkin case. And the reason that's relevant is because if you are a smaller high street firm and you've tried to argue that you didn't know that you were responsible and you're only just a small firm, so how much responsibility can you be expected to have? That argument isn't going to work because as far as the regulations are concerned, everyone is just as responsible as everybody else, whether you work as a sole practitioner or whether you work for a magic circle firm across multiple countries. The duty of care applies irrespective. So if that is our starting point of what your obligation is, you then have to think about what could be at risk of a breach of a duty of care. So breaches of a duty of care have to consider what a solicitor agreed to do. And this is where you start seeing disclaimers kicking in. So in Minkin and Landsberg, this is the key case for summarizing the relevant principles of your duty of care and whether you have breached that duty of care. So you are likely to be carrying out tasks which the client has instructed you to do and the solicitor has agreed to undertake. It needs to be clear from your retainer that you will proffer advice which is reasonably incidental to the work that you are carrying out. In determining that reasonably incidental advice, you need to have regard to all circumstances in the case.